young kids. By traveling, I was so jealous to the young kids in Africa. They were doing their toys by using piece of wood, cans, and all these things. And I was just thinking, this is the best way to play and to appreciate what we have. Of course, I grew up and I told you I'm anthropologist, so I learned about Africa. And I also, on the political way, I realized, I began to look at the way, the people, they were using what the Europe, all these colonial countries, they were bringing them, anything like the boat. And I discovered that so rich, so creative things in Africa by using all this crap, the material, the plastic bag, the bottle. This is something people used to do in Africa for many years. And also in the African culture, it's very important not to lose, for example, the textile. You are having textile, but this is for your daughter, everything go to, someone after. You don't throw away anything. What I can say, I'm not a painter, I'm not a sculptor, I'm not, but I do a lot of things with my hand, and using recycled material. I feel very comfortable when I have something doesn't, it's maybe something bad with myself, but I really like to transform the things, And I also, on the way I'm walking, I don't like to throw away anything. I feel like 50 years is something very important for everybody in life. And I came in this country, I was not far from my 50 years old birthday. I'm just thinking about Africa like I'm thinking about myself. That's mean it's very important. 50 years in our life is half a century. 50, it's a number just make you think of, okay, where I am. So for the African country, most of them, they were under the umbrella of because after between the two big wars, the English people, French people, Portuguese, Spanish, some Italian too, they just consider the Africa like their property. So they cut the country the way they want. They share this big continent. The reason it's so important for me this date is because in my life I was abused, and I began, after many years, after marrying someone, I began to really feel like, okay, if I have to give a sense to this life for me, it's time. So that's the reason I came here. I left everything behind me because it was like, okay, no way, I want to continue to live, but at the same time, not like I'm living now. But for the African people, when they got their independence, they really had to face what they want to become. And so these 50 years is really like, okay, we got some freedom. That's the reason we are having the birds coming, because freedom is great, independence is great, but it's also a big challenge because it's not so easy to be free and to be independent. And I can tell you, it was not so easy for me to come in this country without speaking any English and just thinking, okay, I want to rebuild my life or do something interesting. I think it's Mandela who say something like, when you feel like you're done, immediately you see the next step coming, and the next step is you feel like, okay, I'm on the top. It's this small mountain, and when you look at, you see another mountain in front. I'm not Mandela, but I think it's the challenge for everyone. So one of the reasons this exhibition is so important, and it's so connected with this 50 years anniversary.
Ndo pandakati nyamba muriku